we are so far away. Holy crap. I don't know what happened. Oh, yeah.
I've got one dead. Luckily, the one I killed was the bounty. Yep. I got not much I can do about him. I got no plates. Downed him on the roof. I have 2 down. I need help. Can anybody push this?
We're in a vehicle though.
3 down. There's only 1 left. Just push and you'll be fine. 1 on top of purple. 1 down on the street over here. Oh no, I finished another. So there's only 1. Got them all. We're good. Team wipe. Yo, what's going on today, YouTube? Today we are talking late game rotations and positioning. If you find yourself getting to late game, but rarely clutching up the win, knowing where to position, or just in general how to maneuver and play it out, this video is for you. This was requested by a couple people in the comment sections of my previous videos, so thank you very much for the idea. If you guys have any other questions on Warzone tips or strategies that you'd like me to make a video on, feel free to drop it in the comments below and I'll add it to the list. So in this video, I have 2 clips from my Twitch channel of some late game situations that we clutched up. In the first one, I make a somewhat poor decision on my positioning, and we're going to break down what I could have done better, where I should have rotated, so hopefully we can learn from that. The second one, I positioned significantly better, and we're going to go ahead and point out the decisions I made that put me in that position, why I chose that spot, and the different rotations I chose in there to secure the win on that. As always, you can find me at twitch.tv/modrummy. If you don't mind, click that subscribe button, like the video, and drop a comment below on any videos you'd like to see in the future. It really helps me out, and so far YouTube shows about 99% of people who watch my videos are not subscribed. So if you don't mind clicking that button, I'd really appreciate it. All right, thanks guys. Let's get to these clips. Okay, for this first clip, we're starting out with 1 man down. We have 3 alive. There's 18 total players left. 15 of them are enemies. So 6 teams, 15 people. We're in the 6th zone, and something important to know, the 6th zone is still one of the zones that finishes roughly center. As in, if you get to the middle of this zone, you know you are going to get the 7th zone, the zone afterwards, because when the next zone closes, it'll still overlap the middle. So optimally here, you would want to get somewhere in one of these 2 buildings here. I would not recommend this hangar. There's too much open ground. Just not a great place to be. So you would want to end up in one of these 2 buildings. Obviously, the first one's probably easier to get to. So we start off, we have a man down, and my teammate is calling out that there's someone directly above him right here who shot down the stairs and killed this guy. So I know there's at least 1 player up here. So I'm playing a little cautiously. We've called out a pinch maneuver. I have vision here coming up the stairs to pinch. I'm going to be coming across here. We're going to try to catch them in a little pinch movement. I got there a little early, but it was only 1 guy. My plan there, as you saw, I ducked back even before I had the down, because if there was 2 players, I didn't want to get caught and get killed really easily down and potentially finish before my teammate got there. So I did a quick strafe across, and I was already planning a strafe pass, even if I can get the down, so my teammate can come up and get the finish. It's a very effective strategy. I'd recommend calling it out with your teammates there. It's just kind of an engage and disengage. It makes you much harder to finish. Team wipe, we're good. So we have the team wipe. We get some loot. Unfortunately, there's not a convenient buy station for us to buy back our teammate anywhere in this zone, so we're basically stuck a man down for the rest of this game. Let me see what I have. Hang on. It won't load. Yeah, I got some for you. Here. I can drop another. There's another 30 right there for someone. Okay, so we quickly communicate on what ammo people need to dice up the loot so everybody has a good split for whatever weapons they're carrying for the end zone, so make sure you're communicating with your teammates. We don't quite have buyback, dang it. Okay, this is where we just figured out there's no way to buy back. So I'm moving towards the next zone. Okay, we can. So my teammate called out. There are some people out here to the right at the hangars. We have good cover from the zone here. We've already cleared behind us, so we know the only place people can come is in front of us, right or left. So we've at least narrowed it down. Our back is clear. Check, quick heartbeat check just in case, although most people would be ghosted. Immediately spot these guys over in the building. Just taking a couple shots. Trying to weaken them up, potentially get it down. As soon as I take fire, back up, plate up, don't risk anything. No need to risk actually somehow getting finished by a lucky snipe. So my team pushed pretty aggressively here to get center zone. We had talked about going center zone. It's not a terrible play by any means, but I tend to move a little bit slower on the 6th zone to make sure I'm clearing my back and sides and no one can push in behind me. Either play, I think, is acceptable in this situation since you have the building for cover and you're moving together. You want to be close to your teammates enough to help them, but you don't want to be necessarily just bunched on top of each other.
Mid-floor. Those guys are holed up.
Taking a couple more shots. So I want to point out, I repositioned from my earlier window where I was sniping. They were expecting me to shoot from that spot. If I reposition somewhere else, they have no way to know what window I'm going to shoot from next. So I went ahead and moved over to another side of the building, played it up, reloaded. It came at them from an unexpected angle. Got a quick crack. My snipe was not exactly on point. Obviously, I'm just cracking, and you're going to see a lot of me just cracking shields and not finishing here. Just a little frustrating that I'm not going for headshots. Hindsight. Cracked him again. Downed one. Okay, so I finally get a down on these guys.
Holy crap, where did he shoot me from?
Right there.
22.
Same spot. Okay, they're down. Somebody finished them. My down got finished. I immediately called out to my team to let them know so that they know there's a second team over in that area. So at this point, as I talked about before, the zone has to finish. If you're in the middle, you're going to get zoned. Sure enough, we're near the middle. We get zoned. So there's only 2 buildings left in the zone. We know there's a team in fire station. We know there's a team in hangar. So there's one other team somewhere, but most likely a small team because we know there's at least 2 here. We know there's at least 2 here. So there is a solo, potentially a duo hiding out somewhere else in the zone, maybe out here at this shack. We don't really know. But we do know where the 2 main threats are, the 2 closest threats are. Currently, we know we're fairly safe in our building. So there's no reason to move out of this building at this point. Like, we have the building, we have the zone. The next zone is what's known as the moving zone. It is random in which direction it's going to pull. So we can get lucky, it can pull to us. We get really unlucky and it pulls out here somewhere and we have to move all the way across fire station, which would be almost guaranteed loss at that point. So at this point, you're kind of having to just play the zone and say, hey, we've got it. We've got a building. We have cover. We know where 2 of the 3 teams are. That's a pretty good spot to be. I call out to my team, 3 teams, 7 people, so they know what we're looking for. We know where most of those people are. They're at fire station and they're in the hangars. I can drop you a little bit. My heartbeat. Got 3 in fire, or 2 in fire. And I point out there's a couple, at least on heartbeat and fire, that do not have ghost. Check again. There's 1 hangar. So I know there's some in fire. I decide there's a pretty good chance there's one in this upper window. So I hold the window for a second and get a little bit lucky. That guy peeks right there. Got fire. Unfortunately, the guy from hangar ends up beaming another one of my teammates who's just below me. He's not very happy about it. Okay, so after he died, he called out hangar blue ping. So we know there's that one on the blue making a gas mask play most likely. So I reposition. I still have zone, but they knew where the guy in fire knew where I was. The guy in hangar knew where I was. So I decided it's smarter for me to reposition. They both know where I'm out on that second floor. I don't want to be caught in a pinching movement in case they're on the same team or if they just both decide to push.
2 guys in blue ping. 2 guys in hangar at blue ping.
The reposition works because they're still pointing up here at my other teammate. I get an easy headshot with the Car 98. Okay, this is a key moment in every end zone. When you get to this moving zone, so as we talked about, it is pure luck, right? You don't know which way this is going to pull. If this pulled to us right here, this building here, it's pretty much a guaranteed win because everyone else has to push to us. Optimally, that is where you want to be. If you could choose, you would want to move right here. The reason is everybody else has to push across this open area to that zone. If you can be the first one there, safely get there and get cover, it's shooting fish in a barrel. It's a bunch of people just moving across an open space that are all running from gas, taking damage from gas, and you just get to sit there and shoot at them. Easy win. So when you get to this moving zone, knowing that the optimal position would be being the first one to this zone and holding the other teams, I want you to look there first. I'm not saying go there, I'm saying look there because sometimes it's not a great option. If you have to push across a ton of open space to get there, sometimes you're better off making the late rotation. So it is a judgment call based on the amount of cover you have, how many people you have alive, the position of the other teams that you know of. Zone most likely. We got to move with zone. Okay, so I called out, we need to move with zone. We only have 2 alive. There's potentially a full team still out there. I could have played this a lot smarter. If you see this wall right here with the gap, I can easily run up here, make the gas play, get around the wall, and I'll be set up in zone just waiting for these teams to push across. That would be the smart play, and in hindsight, I'm going, Mod, what were you doing? But that's why we review our footage. This is how I learn and how I get better. I watch the things I failed at so that I don't do them next time. Hindsight is perfect. I should have moved along this wall, and so should you. You would be the first one there, you'd have cover, and you can just shoot back at the teams who have to push across this open space in the middle. Instead, I elect to take this bit of an odd position here. It's still not a bad play because it's not where they would expect to be shooting. I'm not shooting out a window or a doorway or from the roof of the building or from the ground of the building. I'm kind of on a mid-level rafter spot that not many people are going to be pre-aiming, so it's a fairly safe peek. My teammate just called out there's a couple people moving through fire, so I decided I'm going to try to hold these guys as they cross. Really not a bad play. Unfortunately, I don't have a gas mask, so it has to be made very quickly if I still want to make it out of zone. Spot one. Get the quick down. My teammate just called there's one on roof of fire, so I'm trying to reload fast and be ready. Crack him. And at this spot, I kind of died at, I'm going to go ahead and say bad luck, but it was also me, probably should have just not trusted that my flank was safe. If you remember, we had cleared all these buildings behind us, but apparently that solo had either dead silence or crouch walked across from somewhere. I really don't know where he came from, and got in this building beneath us and was waiting. That doesn't happen that often when you've completely cleared out these buildings, but it's something I should have been aware of and just double checked before I made this play. He sneaks up right behind me as I'm beaming this guy and
On the ground.
downs me. I live mark him as I go down, and that's a key thing. A lot of people when they go down are just frustrated. They put down their controller and annoyance. Take that second as you're down and you're going to get finished and get that live mark off. Especially this end zone in the gas, you can help your teammate out. If they can't see the guy, but he's got a red ping floating above his head because he's live marked, you can win the game that way from the ground.
Live mark.
So I live marked him so my teammate know where he is. As you can see, he just snuck down behind me. I don't know if he had daddy or what. I mean, I guess good play from him is sneaky play.
So in this, I had 15 on that.
My teammate gets the down on the guy I live marked. And now he has a 1v1 for the win. And he had pushed ahead to zone. Unfortunately, you don't get to see much of it. Basically, he made a C4 play from the zone. And I'm very excited, apparently. So yeah, that one could have been played better. It did end in a win. No thanks to me, unfortunately. But I would always recommend moving ahead of that moving zone when you can. There are situational times when you don't want to. When a late rotate can save you. If you have a gas mask or hardened gas mask, sometimes that late gas play is not expected. But keep in mind, if a team gets ahead of you to that moving zone and has cover and can turn around and point back towards the zone that you have to cross, they have a huge advantage on you. So it's always advantageous to get ahead of the zone. Okay, the second clip, I feel like I played significantly better as far as positioning goes, though it does kind of have a dumb ending from me. I think it's funny. So we come in, there are 7 teams, 19 people alive, and I'm on 13 kills, so this is a pretty solid round. Definitely potential for a 20 bomb here. No spoilers. So where it comes in, we don't really have zone. We're on roof of train. Technically, part of roof of train is in zone, so it's not that bad a play to hold height. However, we know, as we talked about in the last video, 6 zone, it's still going to finish fairly centered. So the odds of us getting zone on roof of train are slim to none at this point because of how much room there still is in the zone. It's most likely going to finish somewhere out here in the middle in front of train station. So all I'm doing with this time here is we have about 30 seconds left before the zone starts moving is clearing top of train. Because if I go ahead and rotate over here to the green arrow, my teammate, anybody up here on top of train is going to be able to push in behind us as we're trying to clear these guys down here. So you want to clear this top of train so that you have the sole height in this situation. Height is a huge advantage. Cover's big, but height to me is one of the biggest advantages in an end zone because you can be behind a barricade, but if somebody has height, they can still shoot down on you. So I would always recommend when you can, height in zone is key. So right now, train is the highest height in zone. So we're going ahead and clearing it off so that we are solely on height. And it's way, way easier to hop down from height than it is to attack someone on height, if that makes sense. We're going to go ahead and clear the roof of train and then try to rotate with the zone. My teammate was able to live mark somebody. He called out that there's a team up here. I get a quick down on one of them, so I know there's at least 2 because that was not the live mark player. I decided to chuck 2 nades. Both of them hit. They were not great nades. I call out to my teammates and ask them if somebody can pre-aim this ladder for me because the ladder push is dangerous. And I figure he can at least get the knock for me. I get finished my down, and I'm pointing just in case because I know there's another player there. I know he's expecting me to come up this because that's the normal jump spot. That's where his teammate just got killed. That's where he's looking. So I decide, hey, I'm going to jump up this little corner. It's still not a safe jump, but it's safer than going up the main route. Hopefully it gives me that second of advantage. I don't see him there immediately. So I crouch down so I can't get shot to reload. Get the quick down. I think this one's funny. I barely have to adjust my aim because his teammate charges up for the down and gets downed as well. So now we know we have 3 down of the 4. Okay, I killed 3 up here. I let my teammates know I killed 3 of them, so they know there's only a solo left somewhere. He appears to be down by the buy. Dang it, I tagged him up, but he bought back already. So just keep this in mind. Good communication with your teammates, letting them know who else is on height with you. We had called out there's a team up here. I let them know I killed 3 of the 4. They know, hey, this threat is greatly diminished. There's one player somewhere. Let's try not to let him buy his teammates back or sneak up behind us and get a down and a finish. So move together, get the last kill, and we'll have height. So always communicate with your teammates in the end zone when you're getting down so they know what's kind of going on around them. Okay, so at this point, we know we've cleared roof. There's not really a good point in holding roof. My teammate has called out that there's a player below him down here. So I'm figuring if a couple of us are on roof, it makes sense for me to pinch from the ground and cause a little pressure. My teammates have an easy way of hopping down to support me if needed. So right here, I can hear his footsteps below me. I know a player is practically directly below me. One of my teammates is on the ground, so I'm trying to get the quick pick for him. I still hear him running around. My shots are terrible, but fairly easy kill. So that one was a team wipe. So the zone pulled pretty far away for 7th zone. We didn't get very lucky. There is a decent amount of cover with the tents, but there's practically no real height in zone left. All the big buildings are cut off, trains cut off. So it's going to be pretty much a ground level zone, so you're going to have to play cover. We know we've cleared this area down here to the southeast. I think that's southeast. No, I'm backwards, whatever. The bottom right is cleared out. My teammates are calling out that there's a couple players over here. So I know if we clear this area here, we have a pretty safe push to zone on the low side. So it's worthwhile to push back to them, finish clearing out this team, and then we have a nice, easy push to zone.
Down that one.
My teammate has 2 down at this point. So I push over to help him out. Get an easy crack. I'm just hard aiming this corner in case he pushes back. Got the down. Got another crack.
One shot.
I let my teammate know he's only 1 shot so that he knows he can push up aggressively. He gets the kill and we get the team wipe. Okay, so at this point, we know we are clear over here because we've already cleared it. We're clear behind us here because my team and I have just cleared that. So with 3 teams and 4 people left, we know there's a solo, and a duo, and we're a team of 4. So as long as we play in the same kind of vicinity moving, we shouldn't have much of a problem. Okay, so I'm going to point out what my team's doing, and they did a good job of here. So they're live marking and calling out where players are. So you can see a couple marks on this map. One said, hey, there's one on this wall. Another one said, hey, there's one by the loadout on the outside wall. So that's really helping narrow down. We know there's 3 teams and 4 people. So a solo, and a duo are still left alive. So we know where at least 2 of the teams are because those are pretty far split and it's unlikely they're from the same team. So I just, again, encourage good communication with your team. Make sure you're live marking, calling out the number of players you're seeing, any downs or cracks you get, because all that can influence. If we know it's a duo and somebody gets it down, we're going to push that duo and try to knock out the strongest team right here. So this part, I actually get caught off guard. There was somebody camping in the bus here, as you're about to see. One of the solos left, and I thought I had this cleared. I kind of peeked at the bus, didn't see anything, kept moving, and this guy nearly kills me here. But thankfully got him with some good aim with the FFAR, and the FFAR just melts. Okay, so at this point I'm at 19 kills, and there's only 2 players left alive. I hate to say it, I got a bit greedy here. I wanted another 20 bomb for the stream, so I'm not recommending the play I make here. This is an easy win. We know where the duo is. My teammates already called out they're on this wall. Even without me, my team's got this. But I wanted the 20 bomb. So I played this aggressively. I'm not recommending how I played this at all. It backfires horribly on me anyway. But honestly, I just wanted my 20. Oof, I cringe watching this again. So poorly played.
No.
So I know there's 2 players, and I still go ahead and just B-hop a corner that he's hard aiming. Yeah, the smarter play there would have been to chuck a nade, would be to peek it and duck back to bait the shot, climb the wall, or just patiently wait. Because as you see, look where the zone pulls. The zone pulled to us. They have to move the farthest direction of anybody. There was a very easy way to play that, and I most likely would have gotten the kill. I just thought my teammates were going to get those 2, and I was kill hungry and wanted my 20. So don't do what I did. Play it safe. You have zone. Anytime you have zone like this, like we talked about in the previous clip, move to this zone, especially in this situation. Look at that. We have the easiest push to zone right here, and we just hold these guys who have nothing to do. They have to run down a road through gas or die to gas. Easy win.
Let's go, baby. I wanted my 20 bomb so bad I bum rushed that. Oh my gosh, my damage was insane that round.
Damage was a pop-off for sure. As a recap, clear your flank, clear your sides, and try to keep moving towards that center of zone so that you're setting yourself up for the next zone in the late game situation. This does not apply to the early zones in my opinion. This is mostly zone 6 and 7. When you get to the moving zone, if at all possible, get in front of it, because you will have an easy win if all the other teams have to push you from the moving zone. They're mostly tack sprinting. It's very hard to take shots while running. Meanwhile, you're just mounted up and waiting. Make sure to live mark and call out to your teammates and let them know who you've downed, who you've cracked, and where any potential teams are so that you guys can work at them together. If you got any specific questions about this or anything else, put it in the comments below. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Come check me out at twitch.tv/modrummy. See you over there.